Happy Monday, students. Week 2, we've made it. We're done with time for a little bit. Today, when we talk at 10, we're going to go about some more of those questions and time that you had on your math test. But for right now, we're done with time and we're going to move on. And this week, we're talking about perimeter, area, and volume. 3 big things dealing with shapes. So we're in a little bit of geometry this week. So what I want us to do right now is I'm going to pull up my whiteboard so that you can see some shapes. If you're remembering back from when we did Terra Nova, you're like, oh, perimeter sounds pretty familiar. Maybe it's because I talked about it for like 1 or 2 days right before Terra Nova. So I'm looking at my lesson plan for the week. Boom, boom, boom. I've been listening to my videos and I say that a lot. Boom, boom, boom. Did I say that a lot in class? I don't know. I'm looking under Monday and I'm in math. I've done my black folder for a minute. Some of you are so close to the end, and make sure you're doing, make sure your extra math is looking about the same score as your black folder. Because if you've been passing them in the black folder, then you should be passing them in extra math. Just checking. I have a YouTube video today on perimeter that you can watch before this one or after this video. And we're in the Green Book, Chapter 9, Lesson 10, which is on page 320 and 321 about perimeter. And again, this week, guys, I'm only having you do the odds. Yay! And then you have extra math, and you'll notice I put a hashtag, not a hashtag, well, slash Prodigy. I am expecting you to have some time with Prodigy this week. You don't need to do it every day, but I would like to see, because I can see your account when I'm here, I would like to see that you're logging into Prodigy at some point in time this week, okay? And then you're watching this Zoom recorded lesson with me, okay? For math, we're all good? So let's go to 320 and 321 and start looking at those odds. And I'm going to put up my whiteboard here and give me a second. And I'm back. Whee! Oh, look at that blue line already. It's excited. Okay, let's start off with perimeter. Well, first, what is perimeter? It says, if we look at that vocabulary word at the top of page 320, that a perimeter is the distance around a plane figure. What is a plane figure? A plane figure is a figure that has straight lines and that I can put on a flat surface. Well, imagine that these have straight lines because I'm trying to have straight lines. You can tell. Maybe not that last one. Maybe that's better. Good. All right. So let's see here. We also have that. We could have all different kinds of shapes that could be drawn on a flat surface. Those are plane figures. And these plane figures have straight sides. So we're going to find the distance around the plane figure. So I'm going to take, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, I thought I had a highlighter, but I guess I don't have a highlighter. But I'm going to definitely change my color. Because, and we're going to either measure, or sometimes they tell us how long the edges of a figure are. Now, what's the word I used in class? Perimeter. Perimeter. What's the word in there I'm looking for? R-I-M. Ooh, that's bad. Rim. The distance around the rim. If I had this figure in front of me, I would be wanting to measure the distance around the outside, the distance around the rim. The distance around the rim. What we like to think of perimeters, a lot of people think of, and it keeps it still in their head, is fences. Fences. It's like measuring how long is my fence. If you look in your backyard, you have, most of you or some of you have a fence that goes around the rim of your property, right? Around the outside of your property. Some of you have a fence that goes around the rim. when your parents bought that fence, they had to know the perimeter of your property in order to know how long their fence needed to be. So if this was if I change it, if this was my house, I would need to know how much fence do I need to buy. I would need to know the distance around the perimeter of my property. So let's work on that real quick. There's different ways to find perimeter. You can add up all the sides. It's definitely one way. So in our book today, we're going to be, for some questions, we're going to be adding up the sides, and then for some of them, we're going to be measuring the sides. So you will need a ruler today. Bing, 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 bing. Mom, Dad, you will need to find a ruler today. I'm going to leave you a second pause. You don't need it right now, but you will need to find a ruler in order to do it. And you are going to be probably on the centimeters side. Yeah, centimeters, figure in centimeters. So make sure you're not on the inches side. Flip it around and be on that centimeter side. Okay? So let's look at my little square here. And if I wanted to know the distance around the rim, sometimes it will give me a clue. It says if this is a square, then I know that all four sides are equal. All four sides are equal if it is a square. Now, of course, I didn't draw it perfectly to be a square, but they told us that this is a square. Now, sometimes they'll say this is a square and one side is 4, right now we're going to say centimeters long. What is the perimeter of this square? Well, we know in our head that all the sides of a square are the same, are equal. So if this side is 4, then that means this side is 4, and it means this side is 4, and this side is 4. So now we're going to come up with the equation for perimeter. Because everything has an equation in math, you know me. Here we go. It's blank plus blank plus blank plus blank equals the perimeter. P. P, capital P, means perimeter. Now, what are all those blanks, Mrs. Fry? Why do we have to have 4 blanks? Why do we have to have 4 blanks? I can see some of your brains churning even from across the computer. 4 blanks means we have 4 sides on this particular shape. Some of your shapes might have more than 4 sides. Careful, but the shape we are looking at right now has 4 sides. So we can say that this is side 1, side 2, side 3, and side 4. All right? If I was to go and change my color, and I say this is side number 1, this is side number 2, this is side number 3, and this is side number 4, right? 4 sides. Side number 1 is 4 centimeters. Side number 2 is 4 centimeters. Side number 3 is 4. Side number 4 is 4. So when I add all that up, I know 4 groups of 4 is 4, 8, 12, 16 centimeters. 4, 8, 12, 16. Now, what happens if I change these numbers and we have a different shape? Sorry, bear with me here. Erasing. What if we have a triangle? What if we have a triangle? Whoa, I'm trying to make them straight. How many sides do we have now? Now with a triangle does not have a rule like a square does. So we do not know how long these sides are unless they tell us, which they may. Like if you look at the top of your page on 320 and you have that weird shape there, they do tell you the length of each side. So in this one, they may tell you 4, 5, 3. And they might say, what is the perimeter of this shape? That's what this means. If I'm looking at this box here, P equals blank. That means what is the perimeter of this shape? How do I figure that out? I add up the sides. How many sides does a triangle have? A triangle has 3 sides. Side 1, side 2, and side 3. How long is side 1? Side 1 is 4. How long is side 2? Side 2 is 5. How long is side 3? Side 3 is 3. And I add all this up. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. The perimeter of this triangle is 12. Now, let's look at that example that we have at the top. I'm going to clear this whole page. The top looks like I have a big fat something that goes out here, really thin, and then up here, right? Cool. And then I see 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 5. How do I figure out the perimeter of this shape? I have to add up all the sides, right? So let's add up all the sides. I have side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4, side 5, and side 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Side 1 plus side 2 plus 3 plus side 4 plus side 5 plus side 6 equals my perimeter. Side 1 is 3. Side 2 is 5. Side 3 is 1. Side 4 is 3. Side 5 is 2. And side 6 is 2. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Yes. 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. Ding, 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 ding. And the perimeter of this shape is 16. So, unfortunately, I can't help you when it comes to numbers when you're doing the odd 1, 3, 5. Because that's all you with your ruler. Boom, 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 boom. They don't give you any clues. They say use the perimeter of each figure in centimeters, then use your centimeter ruler to find the perimeter. Estimate. Oh, I want you to estimate. You do not have to estimate. Just use your rulers for those. Then you're turning over. And you're going to go to, because we're only doing the odds, number 7, a closed folder. That would be your black folder, please. And you're estimating in inches the perimeter now. So now you're going to flip over your ruler and you're going to measure that perimeter in inches. 9, your textbook. That would be your green book. Measure around your green book in inches. What's the perimeter of the green book, guys? Okay, so you're not doing what you want. I want you to measure the perimeter. Your closed folder is the black folder. Your textbook is your green textbook. And then 11, it says draw a figure with a perimeter of 14 inches. It may have any number of sides. Ooh, so you get to draw whatever shape you want. It just has to measure 14 inches when I measure up all those sides, however many sides it has. It can have only 3 sides. Okay? They just have to measure 14 inches if I was to measure it around the whole thing. Then I'm going to go into some word problems. So I've done 7, I've done 9, and I've done 11. My next odd number is 13. We're skipping. So I'm going to 13, and it says Alice made a square frame for her needle point. Needle point is like sewing. Each side measured 8 inches. What was the outside perimeter of the frame? So if she's making, I'm going to do this one with you. So if you're here, you get a freebie. She has a needle point. Her needle point is a square. It said that each side measured 8 inches. Oh, we just did this one as an example before. So if one side is 8 and we know that this is a square, then all the other sides have to be 8. I'm not going to figure it out for you, but then you'd add 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, and that would give you the perimeter. 15, a rectangle measures 4 meters, M means meters, on its short side and 8 meters on its long side. Ooh, so now we have a rectangle. Now, we know it's a rectangle if it has 2 short and 2 long, and they told me the length of the short is 4, which means that this side is also 4. They're the same. It's a rule about rectangles. And then they said if the long side is 8, then we know that this long side is also 8. That is the rule of rectangles. So then it said, what is the perimeter of this rectangle? I think you can do it. Perimeter means to add the rim, add around the rim, add around the edges, okay? Like a fence. 17, a pentagon. Ooh, you're gonna have to remember what a pentagon looks like and draw me a pentagon. And then you have 19. Yes, you do have to do 19. Can you use multiplication to find the perimeter of the frame in problem number 13? Oh, we're back to the square. If we had the square, remember each side had 8? They said, can we use multiplication to answer this question? I don't know. Well, actually I do. It's kind of like my job. But do you know if we can use multiplication to answer this question? We know that the formula for finding perimeter is to add. But if we have a square, does that rule change? Can we use multiplication too in order to find the perimeter? And then that's it for today, guys. Perimeter, the distance around the rim. If you get brave enough and you have a long enough thing, measure your fence, measure the perimeter of your fence. That would take a long time, wouldn't it? Yes, but there are some people that do it, people that love building fences. So look at your fence today and think about perimeter. Have a great Monday. Love you. Let's figure out how to stop this thing. How do we stop it? Aha, here it is. Bye, guys.